Okay, so today you are going to look through some of your recent work, and I want you to do a really thoughtful, truthful, and authentic self-evaluation. I want you to recognize what you're good at and also what you need to improve. That's how we become better writers. We think carefully about what we do, we look at examples of good writing, and then we make adjustments. So you'll notice here that we have 3 categories. So screeching is like, I've come to a screeching stop, I need help, or I really need to make a point of doing this. Reaching is kind of, I'm getting there. I know it, but sometimes I just have trouble remembering to do it, or I have trouble doing it really well. And then teaching is, you've mastered it. I've got it. I always do it well. And hey, teacher, you might as well just take a break because I could teach this for you. So the way you check yourself, you start with the first category, thesis statement. So the thesis statement is the last sentence of my introduction, and I TTQA it as much as possible. So that's what you need to be able to do to say that you're teaching. So what you do is you go and start by looking at your lottery response. So you go into your stream, and you're going to have to scroll down a ways because it was a little while ago when we did it. So you get the point. It really was some time ago. There it is, finally. Probably a quicker way to get to this. I think you have the option of clicking on assignments, and you might be able to find it quicker that way. But anyway, so, or I think you have the option of clicking on work too. So you open it up and you look at my comments, you scroll down, you look at the rubric, you look at where you missed points. But for the self-evaluation to begin with, you just look at your thesis. Do you have a thesis? Is it in the right place or not? And then you circle either the Y or the N. Y for yes, N for no. Then you go into the compare and contrast essay. So same thing, you're going to have to scroll down a ways, but it's there. Or you can click on, I think, work, like I said, and you might be able to find it that way. Same thing. I want you to look at it for the thesis statement. Circle yes or no. And then the choice book assessment, that essay, you just wrote that one, so it should be pretty early on in your stream, choice book assessment. So you want to look at each one of these, look at my comments, look at any checklists that you get handed, and go through what kind of mistakes are you making, what can you learn from my comments, from your scores, from the rubrics, and then you evaluate, like I said, each piece. So let's say I have a thesis in my compare and contrast essay and in my choice book, but maybe not in my lottery response. Well, I know I did that one earlier. Maybe I know I've got it now. I have 2 examples of when I did it properly. Maybe I give myself a teach-in, and so I'll check that box off. Maybe I do it inconsistently. Like I did it in my compare and contrast, but not in the lottery or the choice. I might give myself a reach-in. And if I really don't ever do it clearly, maybe I give myself a screech-in. And so you're going to go through each of these after taking the time to look carefully at your scores and the comments in your documents, and you're going to evaluate yourself. Once you've evaluated each of these areas, down here in this list, you're going to type up some things that you're going to work on and carefully check in your next essay. So, when you look back at what you are in the screeching category for, or what you're maybe in reaching, or if you look at some of my comments on some specific things, you just type in whatever you think you need to check for and you need to work on. And then next time we write, you can go in and check off whether or not you looked for that particular item. So this is all to help you as you write your next essay. In fact, you're going to start writing tomorrow an argumentative essay, and these are the things you want to make sure you're paying careful attention to. So at this time, you should have one of these, and you should be in Google Classroom and use the rest of this period to get this done. You will turn it in at the end of the period, and the sub will hand it back to you tomorrow.